What's up? What's up? What's up? I want to say welcome to our third season of Two Man and a Lady. The brothers is here, so we when she get here, she get here. But the show must go on. We have none other Don J, real estate coach. He don't
Yes,
scam
sir.
like these other people be out here scamming. Did you see that video I sent you or no?
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Okay. Did you have some thoughts about that? Because I wanted to call you about was able to look at that? Because I didn't know like that scamming stuff still go on, that people be scamming people in real estate. Wow.
Yes, that's man. Remember when everybody was asking me about wholesaling, and I was
Yes,
saying,
sir.
hey, you guys better watch out because they can get you in a contract. It's just anything that involves money, you're gonna have somebody, some way, find a way to scam off of it. And
Mm,
that's just anything involving hard cash. Now think about that, but because that's true in life. Anything with like checks, like cashier, you know what I'm saying? Anything dealing with hard cash, it's always gonna be some kind of scam. Somebody trying to, you know, beat the system or something like that. But yeah, it's always that in real estate. These coaches get on her, charge you $200 an hour. I just be a whole bunch of stuff, man, charging for all this and all that. And they don't do it. So
I want to ask you this question because when I saw it, I'm like, I didn't understand how people what happened with big business and all of this, what they were saying. He was renting out a place. His mom, I don't know if they took out a loan because the place was getting foreclosure. He was looking to do a deal. I guess the deal went bad. It's so many things that you can do in real estate. But the average person like myself don't know what you know, Don. So if you really wanted to scam, you can make a lot of money because you know the system.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
You
And the easiest way to scam in real estate for these people who be scamming, the most places you're gonna see them at like these real estate networking events.
okay.
They preying on the wide-eyed, I just want to get started. Where do I start? And then it's no different than that. It's just like taking advantage of somebody young, or what I'm saying, taking
Yeah.
advantage of somebody who don't know.
Because it's like a lot of these black guys now, they got a lot of followers on Instagram and they be like, hit me up in the IG if you want to do this deal. And people just giving like $20,000, $30,000, thinking they're gonna be able to flip it into 300,000, and then the money go ghost. They go ghost. They don't do right. And it's a lot of that going on because, like, my DMs, people were saying, "Well, I was scammed for 20,000. I was scammed for 25,000. I was scammed for 30,000." I'm like, that's a lot. Like, I'm not shocked, but I'm like, do people not do they research in real estate? Like, typically get a lawyer or something like that, or a simple
No,
Google search?
because a lot of them be dealing in good faith, bro.
Okay.
So it's like this. Like you get a lawyer when you work in his job site, invest in his property. You ain't going nowhere. You sell property, I can put a lien on the property, and you won't be able to sell it. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
that's how some people approach it. Some people say, "Nah, I'm gonna put a lien in the mortgage, or I want to make sure if anything, I got a safe." But a lot of people don't. A lot of
Mm.
people, for example, if you get in a deal, if somebody tell you this, um, if you bring up the money, I'll find the house and I'll get the guys to do the rehab. And if you can
Yes.
fund it, we'll split it
Yes.
50-50. Hey, come on, bro. This,
That's cap.
you know what I'm saying? So like for me, I'll be like I if me and you were to do a deal. So a lot of people, they just don't know how to do a deal, or when they hear that 50-50 and they automatically think, oh, and this is a good thing. But like, nah, like you still gonna have to put in the work. And if y'all in it together, you using his people. What if his people shitty?
Mm.
What if his people ain't doing the work at the quality you want to be done? You stuck with his people. You get what I'm
Yup.
saying? It's
And
just a whole bunch of stuff,
because that's
man.
what happened. One of the person, he said he was going to rehab the place, and then he said, "Oh, the Rona hit, so money is tight." And he was like, "Can I get my 30,000 back?" He still didn't get his 30,000 back. and that was like 2-3 years ago.
No, because it's invested. Everything is invested in. It's see, that's the thing. When you invest in real estate, a lot of times you ain't gonna see no return for 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
Like when you go into a neighborhood and you flip a house, and you can get it done in 90 to 120 days. Man, that shit 10 years ago, Wiley. That ain't happening this day in this market with the labor prices and the lumber and the material prices. No, that's not happening.
So you got to go through
So
all.
I
You
don't
got to
I
go
don't
through.
care if it's just a regular house.
You got to go
Oh, I'm
through all
sorry.
the hoops. No, I'm just saying you got to go through all the hoops. Because when I saw the video, I sent it to you. But I'm like, he know real estate, and that's why I'm like, I'm so glad I know you, because you said the game is to be told, not the game is to be sold, not to be told. And so that's why I try to soak up as much knowledge. So if I come into 40,000 or 50,000, 60,000, I don't get gooped. You know what I'm
You
saying?
don't need it. I'm gonna tell you, if you come in to 40 or 50 or 60,000, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do, Wiley. We're gonna leverage that to about 300,000 in business credit. And now
Yes.
you can put that shit to the side, and now you can fuck with this business credit. Now you
Mhm.
playing with house money. That's how we gonna do that.
Yes, because the money is going to come in, and I'm so glad that I have you in my corner for guidance, because the average African American, when they come into, let's say, 40, 50,000, they don't know how to flip it. I remember I saw this video, and he said the mindset of a poor person with money: I want to work to pay bills. That's their mindset. Middle class, I want to get good credit. The bad shit I can't afford to pay for it over time. Rich people mindset is, how can I turn this 4 million to 60 million to get into a whole nother bracket? Like, how can I turn this 10 million into 100 million? That's their whole mindset. And so when I
Yep.
heard that video, I started changing my mindset. Is I'm not just working to pay bills. I'm investing, working on credit so I can get business credit, so I can get a hard money loan, so I can get this. So my mind is different. So when I talk like that, the average person, that all they think about is just paying their bills, is foreign to them, because their mind is not above, that thinking like
Well,
invest.
it's not
You know,
above. It's not a. You see, that's it. I think their mindset is not above the spectrum of which they want to think. So
okay,
if you want to keep yourself at level 2, you're gonna stay at level 2. You get what
okay,
I'm saying? That's what a lot of people do. Like a lot of us, I ain't just say people, just a lot of us set those limitations on ourselves. And we gotta realize we truly are limitless. There's no limit to the potential of what we can do if we really just do it. You know what I mean?
yes,
So that's the thing. We just a lot of our like we just those fears and that shit we have, we project that shit on others, and we project all that negative energy on ourselves, and we put a cap or a limit on what we can do when we can do more. We just say I can't do more or this, you know what I mean? But like you really can do it if
yeah.
you want to do it.
And you've been in this game, and you have helped people. I always say you have a split spot in my heart, because my mother, every day she's talking about real estate. Ask Don this, ask Don that. Like, oh gosh, she have 1,000 questions.
Man,
Um,
man, give her my number because I like when I for real when I introduce I'm my AI. Well, I'm not even gonna, I ain't gonna say it on air, but I'm working on everything, and I'm trying to get everything finished
yeah,
by tomorrow because I have the time. Um, I'm gonna send you a copy or just a template of what I'm doing, and then I
okay,
want to get your honest opinions. And
okay,
then what I'm gonna do is whatever you see that I've done, I'm gonna say, I can do this for you. And so my whole YouTube channel is gonna be that. So we're gonna be something else, but you're gonna have your voice, everything. It's gonna be cool,
yes,
bro.
sir.
I'm
I
telling y'all.
I
So I'm trying to finish tomorrow. I'm trying to finish out tomorrow, bro, because I'm so excited about it. And I don't want to just tell you too much, but
Yeah, I can't wait for
bro,
it, because I've been telling you forever to
bro,
get a YouTube channel,
this
because you're
YouTube
gonna.
channel, it's gonna be the first. I'm gonna have the first YouTube channel like the one I got. I have not seen no YouTube channel like this one I'm finna do. You
Yeah,
know what I
I'm
mean?
here for you.
It's
I'm
gonna be
glad.
the first of its kind, bro.
I'm glad you're doing it, man. I'm really, really glad you're doing it. So when y'all come in the room, make sure y'all like the video. We about to get into these topics. Let us first start with Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is an amazing actor, comedian, singer. He had a health complication, according to his daughter. We didn't know what was going on. Of course, he was shooting a movie. He was in the hospital. Reports came out that he had to get revived on the table. They had to bring him back. And they were saying some people said it was a seizure. Some people said it was a stroke. It was so many rumors. When I saw the story, the first thought that ran across my mind, because he was working on a movie, that they immediately got a stunt double to continue the movie. Now, when I saw that, I was like, he did all this working for Hollywood, got sick, and they replaced him. The show must go on. We as people, when you make money, you got to learn how to take time out for your family. Because at the end of the day, Don, no matter what we do, family is key. Your
True.
health is key. Because you're sacrificing all these hours upon hours and days and weeks. Then your health is just at risk. Them same people that you sacrifice all that for, they're going to replace you. And the show must go on. What was your thoughts to hear that about Jamie Foxx? Because it was just all over social media.
Right. When I first heard of it, the I was like, why did they hide it? You know what I mean? Because I didn't hear about it until days after. You get what I mean? And this is an A-list celebrity. Like, as soon as that shit happened, that like we should have saw breaking news. You know what I mean? Because think about when that Alec Baldwin stuff happened down the street in Texas, bro. When he got the gun on the set, as soon as that shit happened, it was breaking news on TMZ. I'm talking about not even an hour after it happened. So for me, I was like, damn, something serious like that happened to a Oscar-winning actor, black Oscar-winning actor, and there was no mainstream media. It was almost like a thumbnail. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you dedicated your life to this, and this is the thanks you get. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was almost like a kick in the butt. Or, you know what I mean? For Jamie, for me, it's like they trying to kick a man while he down.
because I heard rumors they were saying that he thought somebody tried to take him out. It was a lot, and Hollywood, they call it AK Holly weird. It's
Right,
just a lot of stress. Look at what happened to Dave Chappelle. Look at what happened to Martin Lawrence. Like, because you deal with a lot of stresses, because it's a lot of things we don't know. The general public is not privy to, but those that's in the business know.
right.
For me, as I look at it, you got to put yourself first and your family first, and stop sacrificing so much of your time and then push. You need to go to the doctor, do multiple checkups. We don't know how many checkups that he did, and we don't know how much blood work did we did. We don't know, because a lot of us, especially black men, they're afraid. Black people in general are afraid to go to the hospital because of traditionally how the hospital treated African Americans. So we typically don't want to go, but we need to go. We need to get checked up I would say once every 6 months. And then the older you get, you should be every 2 months, almost, to every 3 months almost, when you get like above 50. But when I looked at that, I was hurt. Like, I'm like, what's going on? I knew it was serious because his daughter was like, oh, it's a medical complication, but he's all right. But that was a lie, because he was still in the hospital and they said he wasn't even alert. So, and he didn't post on his Instagram. So something serious,
Major happened.
something major happened. And I think the daughter tried to get ahead of the story, and it just created more of a shitstorm because of more rumors. Because she was like, okay,
Right.
we need privacy. It was a medical complication, but he's fine. But we don't see him on IG. He ain't post nothing. So rumors started to,
Yeah, you leave
she
the
started to
public to
yeah.
run wild with their imaginations
Yeah.
at that point.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
you almost like you kind of just hinted some stuff, and now people can run wild with what you just said. She was better off not saying nothing.
Yes. Cause I was like, when I saw that, um, and I was on my way looking at that, and then I get a DM. Someone said they work in Hollywood, and this is the rumor that they heard, that it was drugs. It was like a drug overdose. That's
Probably
one of the,
fentanyl, bro. You ain't no telling,
and
man.
then we hear, because a lot of these celebrities are on these drugs. Like, what, the guy that was in The Wire, what was it? He died from
Fentanyl
a fentanyl
at a
overdose.
Hollywood. I think it was at a Hollywood party.
You know what I'm saying?
Fentanyl.
So it's like that's huge. And one of my Instagram supporters, like friends, Pierre, he was saying that this drug addiction is serious, like fentanyl, crystal meth, like it's serious, and it's taking
Man,
a lot of people
Wiley,
out. You know what I mean?
think honestly, bro. Just think about the average Hollywood celebrity and the average Hollywood celebrity's life. So, how me and you, I'm in my 40s, you in your 30s, right? So think about all the child actors we've seen on TV. Almost all of them were junkies when they got older, fucking with Hollywood.
You look at Orlando Brown.
I'm being dead serious. Think
That's
about
I
all the
mean,
kids they
that's,
gave us. All
yeah,
the kids they gave us on all the Disney Channel kids, all the Nickelodeon kids, all them kids that was exposed to all that weird Hollywood stuff as babies, they fucked up as adults.
yes. Because one of my friends, he's over Industry on Blast Instagram page, and he said he went to a party, but it was a certain type of code you got to get to this party, and he said it was sex. It was so much. It was shocked, and he said you would be shocked at the people there. That exists. It was a movie on Netflix. It was about Hollywood, and it was all that sex all everywhere, and that goes on. And a lot of people, in order to keep their status, they definitely crave alpha black men. That's like the golden ticket. And that exists. And I think a lot of people, they know they did this, they're ashamed, and they do the drugs.
Bro,
Or or to get this role, you have to lay on your back by another man. So, and then they get on the addicted to drugs. Women the same way. The thing that
yeah,
they have to do.
they have everybody has to have a coping mechanism. You
Mm,
know,
mm-hmm.
you got to realize the trauma and shit they coping with. So you a straight man your whole life, and you just had to, go against everything that you thought you for a role to support your family. And now these people got this over your head, and you dare don't want this exposed to your family, your
Yes,
loved ones, your wife, and they got this over you. And you almost like a slave to, you get what I mean? To the
absolutely.
system at that point. So I just think about it like that. Man, I can only imagine how many people Hollywood got like that under under their wing, like, yeah. And everybody who under that wing is inviting other people to get under that wing. You know what I mean? And that's how that shit is just keep feeding itself. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a
It
lot.
was it was a rumor. They said Jamie Foxx was getting in with another man. And I heard this about it. And then a lot of these stars living
Will
double
Smith.
Will Smith, they're living these double lives, and that's why you're angry and you're upset because you're living these double lives, and it's difficult. I've met with guys that were on the deal, controlling two households. You got your man, you got your wife. That's difficult. You got to make sure
Wow.
it don't come out. You're living two lives, and you're living in secrecy, and it's a lot to deal with. And then you're miserable being with the wife because you're more comfortable with the man, vice versa. It's a lot. And what do? You do the drugs. You at some be abusive to their wife or their girl because you're not really living in your truth, and you are liberating and free. But let's be clear, Don. Let's not act like homophobics don't exist in the black community. It
Right.
still exists, especially in the hood. Even though some of them guys, they getting in with trans women and with men themselves. They got masks, they got tattoos and all that, but it do exist. And I think that if people can truly be who they are, like Luther Vandross and etc., then they could be at peace. But living in
Whitney
double
Houston.
lives, living in
Whitney
secrecy.
Houston.
Whitney Houston, the
Yeah.
same. Look how she passed. She never could be herself. You saw the movie. She never could be her true self.
Yeah.
And when her mother did an interview with Oprah, Oprah said, "Are you okay? Would you have been okay if Whitney Houston would have been a lesbian?" And her mother said in that face, "No, I wouldn't have been okay with that." And Oprah was shocked, like, and she had that little "out, don't try me." Like, it's difficult. It's really, that's why I'm so blessed that I pay my own bills. I got a lease in my name, and I'm my own boss, right? And I can live in my truth.
Hmm.
And I'm comfortable. When I go to sleep, I'm comfortable. I ain't living in secret. When I'm dealing with a female, she understand what I did in my past or who I dealt with, so I don't have to hide it. It will be so challenging for me to get with a woman I'm dealing with men, but don't tell her. And then I got to keep, I can't go out. I can't take it. Like, that's too much work. I don't want to deal with all that.
Yeah.
And so I'm just glad to be able to go to sleep at night knowing that I'm living in my truth. But the average person that's in Hollywood, unfortunately, not living the truth. We interviewed a guy, and he was telling me all the rappers that he dealt with, and he said he could never share it. And I told him, I said, I don't think you ever can share this because you won't live to tell the story. They will take
Oh
you
no.
out. They will take you out to keep that secret. That's why a lot of trans women are losing their lives, because they are dealing with
Yeah.
men that threaten the system of them being quote unquote straight. And instead of them living in their truth, they will eliminate the threat to keep that secret.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with that. So, woo, Jamie, I guarantee you something fishy with this, and it's gonna come out. And I
Yeah.
don't even know if he's able to talk. I don't know if he's able to walk. Because when you have a stroke, it affects your mobility. You know, when my grandmother had a stroke, she was walking
Yeah.
fine, but
It affects your nervous system.
yes. So I don't know, like, because I was hearing rumors that he thought somebody was trying to take him out. Like, I'm like, what? And that's why you have to be careful. In the
Hey,
Bible, it
say
said,
man.
yes, it said wickedness is in high places. Like us, we're not in those high. You probably experienced the high places, but I never experienced like the Epstein's, like that high place of wickedness, because we don't.
Right.
My income is limited, so I would never get invited to the Diddy parties or to them secret rooms. I don't have the
Yeah.
impact. I'm not there, but I know it exists because in the Bible it said in high place wickedness is lies in high places. So many words. The higher you go up, the more wickedness you will witness. It's just
Hey,
there.
Wally, what did
So,
I tell you? What did I tell you about what I witnessed in real estate?
oh
In
yes,
real
sir.
estate, hey man, I had to choose one of three doors. I'm
Wow.
telling y'all that shit to get to the next level. When they was trying to use my face to go and pillage and do all the crazy things to our neighborhood, you know what I mean? They wanted to use my face and their money to be the face of whatever they was gonna try to do. And I got invited to special parties, me and my wife. Uh and yeah, I got invited to one party, bro, in Highland Park. I ain't gonna give you the address or nothing like that, but I got invited to a party in Highland Park, bro, and let's just say,
They
yeah,
just getting
bro.
it in. They just getting
Nah,
it
it
in.
was nah, bro. Like
Oh,
it was more so, um, what do you want to call it? Like it was almost like a tour.
mm.
Like this could be you. You know, door number one, door number two, door number three, type thing. You know what I mean? So I got a glimpse of what was inside Pandora's box, so to speak.
So what
So
was they
I
doing in them doors? They was
so
getting it in drugs or
no. What I'm saying is, I didn't get to walk through the door, but I got to open the door and
okay.
explore what was in the door.
Oh wow.
And
You ju-
so when I said no, everything went for me on a personal level because they came after me in that way. Around Dallas, when the city started, but I'm gonna bring you. I'm gonna bring
wow.
you the court documents from when I got sued by the city. When I told you they threw the book at me, literally every letter in the alphabet had a fine attached to it. So I had A through Z, then I had double A through double P. And every single infraction, every single letter had a $1,500 or more fine attached to it. There
Jeez.
was yes,
So they were
bro.
trying
They
to break
threw
they
the
were trying to
book
break
at
your
me, literally the
they were trying
book
to
at
break
me,
you.
and I won still, Wiley. No lawyer. You know what I mean? But those are some of the intimidation and bully tactics they were using. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, it was like I keep telling you, man, like it's levels to everything. And so once you get to a certain level with your show and you get a certain amount of viewers, I guarantee you're gonna start getting invited to some weird shit. You're gonna get some
Yes.
it's gonna seem genuine, like it always is. You know what I mean? It's gonna seem welcoming and loving. And you gotta know within yourself that that shit ain't for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like when you're, say for instance, you start getting 50, 60 million people watching you a year, you get all type of invitations to come. That's why I'm not rushing to go to Hollywood, because one of my colleagues, Armand, he's in Hollywood, and he's noticing that they're not accepting him because he's not a part of the system. He's not speaking the language that they're accustomed to. And so he's
Yes.
learning that I'm not accepted because I have my own mind. I can't be controlled. I can't bootleg. And so he's understanding he's getting resistance from Hollywood. And that's why I've always said, I don't want to move there. I'm fine in Dallas. And once I really understand here how you get more money for your buck and you at peace, I will go and travel to LA to do a red carpet, interview people, and bring my black behind back home. Because let's
There
be
you
clear,
go.
most of the stars, they don't even really live in California like that. They just work in Hollywood, because you got to look at the taxes. You're paying
Mm-hmm.
quadruple amount of tax. You get more buck of your dollar in like Florida, Texas, more like them red states. Let's be clear. You know this, Don. You get more rewarded as an entrepreneur in a red state than you do in a blue state. And these are just facts. Like, if I
Mm-hmm.
try to buy property and own property, I get rewarded better in Texas
Than you
than
would in California or New
in
York.
California, New York, or Illinois. And you only will notice this if you are an entrepreneur, an investor, and all of that. You will know why the people that's over the car that owns Twitter. What was the guy's name? He owned Twitter and he owns the electric car Tesla. He don't live in. He don't even his headquarters not even in California. So it's like somewhere
And
else,
he
and
got a
that's
house in Texas.
yes. And a lot of companies are moving to Texas. Why?
His country, hey man, that battery company he got in Austin, I think it's gonna be the biggest like AV battery manufacturer. He bringing that shit to Austin or something like that. So
Wow,
you know
Elon
what I
Musk.
mean?
Yes. Wow, it's just something, and that's why it's a catch-22. When I first moved here 6 years ago, the rent was really cheap. Now I see the rent is going up. Why? Because the people is coming, like people from
Mm-hmm.
California, the inventory, and then as a landlord, there is no law. You can correct me. A cap on rent. Whatever you feel like you want to charge, you can do it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that correct?
That's correct. But yeah, no, that's correct. No, because I'm gonna tell you why that's correct in many ways. But for one, Texas is a non-disclosure state.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you don't. I mean, you can make $30 billion out of your damn house, and you know what I'm saying? Like, won't nobody know anything if you don't let them know. So because it's about whatever the person who's purchasing the service for you or the property for you, whatever they feel like it's worth for them to pay. So if,
Yeah.
if you had your apartment right now and you put your apartment up for rent, you said, me and you did some marketing and said this the apartment that they used to do his podcast out of and yada yada yada. And say if you owned it and it was a condo, and me and you was finna move somewhere else, and I pitched that to somebody who was a Wiley Show fan, one of your fans would probably live in it for about $1,000 more because it was yours. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I hear you.
That's not your fault. That's
You got
not your fault.
no, because I had a great conversation with you because about, what I'm saying, about real estate and about having this conversation about real estate and understand the wealth. And I was watching Steve Harvey. He did an interview and he says it's a lot of money to be made because they print a lot of money every day. And then he said, the higher you go up, you will understand that there ain't too many people up there, especially like us. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? It's very limited of the people. And then even in real estate, you understand the higher you go in real estate, it's not a lot of people up there like that look like us that are doing the type of deals that you're doing
Right.
at a higher scale, like the commercial property, developing a neighborhood. It's not too many of us doing that. And they frown upon that, especially when we collectively, like me, you, and you get a group of investors, we buy a shopping mall, we buy the neighborhood. They
Yeah.
frown upon that, especially when we do. Now, white people can do it all the time.
Look, look. I'm gonna tell you the difference between. I'm gonna tell you why we don't
Okay.
succeed doing this.
Okay, go
I'm gonna
ahead.
tell. I want all your listeners to listen to this because this has nothing to do with your skin color.
Okay.
I'm finna tell you the game within the game. So the reason why For example, like the reason why we get resistance to everything we try to do as a collective. For example, if we pulled our money together in this black-owned real estate trust and we went out there and we purchased all this land and then we was gonna build and develop all these great things and blah 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 blah. I ask you this: when we do that, that's what you hear in the news, right?
Yes, sir.
When the white person do it, or the Asian do it, the Arabic do it, do you hear an Arabic store, a white store, a Mexican store? You don't hear that shit. When you put that African American and black owned connotation behind that shit, it scares them. So you got to do everything. Like I keep telling you, man, sometimes you got to have the complexion for the protection. Sometimes we got to get out our own goddamn way. And what I mean by that, who the fuck cares if it's black owned? Who the fuck cares if it's that? It's this. And these are the people who got it. Start there. And then slowly start introducing it as what you want to introduce it as. But you got to get your feet in the door. And that black shit ain't going to do nothing but hold you back, especially in some of the counties. Because remember, the entrepreneur states are the red states, right? That black owned, that unity and all that shit scare red states. So when you in red states like the people dealing in Georgia, you got to beat them at their own game. We got to beat them in our own game. We got to stop broadcasting what the fuck we gonna do as a black owned entity and get behind LLCs and trusts and become anonymous.
Yeah, like they do. Like you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
get what I'm saying? That's the difference between us and them. We so motherfucking loud. Excuse my French, but we so damn loud with it. And they silent assassins. You don't know if it's Indian, Arabic, nothing. You just know the money was there and they got it. That's how we got to start doing it. Until we start doing that and get that, put that black shit, don't nobody got to know what we doing in our next steps.
And then you could be, I remember I had a conversation with a sister. She said, don't let the people know that you are the landlord of the building. Have somebody like a leasing company over it because people get jealous. So you can live in a building, they don't even know that you own the building, like you own this, because you become a target if they know you own. You know what I'm saying? So you right about it, and I'm glad you just giving me confirmation of what she was like telling me. Like she said, she was talking about trust. Like you don't know that I own this. You just don't know. Like the average person don't know who owns. Let's use that example, like YouTube. You don't know who really own it, and the people you think own it is just the front man. He don't really own it. I always look at what was that movie that came out, the drug movie that came out with Wesley Snipes?
New Jack City, Sugar Hill.
Yeah, New Jack City, and it was in court. He said, "Well, I don't own it. I'm not over the paperwork."
Press the
It was
light.
the other light-skinned dude. Yes, he was over the paperwork and stuff, and so he didn't get that much time. So I always look at that like that, even though that was a drug thing. But that same mentality goes on in the business world. That you think this person, but they're just the front man. They're not truly the owner of this.
Yeah, just a face. Remember I told you, so one of my strategies I use in like I tell Wiley and I tell his listeners all the time, if I'm in a city or I'm in an area to where I know I don't got the complexion for the protection, I go and get that shit. I give them the illusion. That's what they giving me. So I give it back to them. Man, I ain't got time to beat you at your own game when I can use the same energy you use and beat you that way. So what I go do, I'll go get someone white that I know. If he don't got the clothes, let's go to Ross. Let's get you some business shit. And when I'm talking to lenders and shit, he represent whatever my LLC is. They gonna see his face at the city. Anytime my name is associated, they gonna see his face. He gonna build them relationships. And guess what? That motherfucker is a mole for me. He coming telling me everything. This is how they doing it. This is what they expect. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. They do it to us. They send that some Uncle Tom dude to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Get all the information. And you know what I'm saying? And he bring it back to them. Well, I'm doing the same thing to them. I'm trying to beat them at their own game.
I feel you on that. And I'm glad we having this conversation because I say every time I get done here, I always have to ask some stuff about that because there's so many people that every time you come on, they be like, you got to come back on and talk about it because it's definitely something that's going on. We had a sister that's here, one of our moderators. She worked for the Department of Agriculture or something. They give out housing loans or something like. What did she say she worked? Some federal agency.
Department of Agriculture.
Yes, that they give out loans, housing loans. I forgot. If y'all remember, y'all can comment in the chat. But it's so much stuff out here that the average
Those are
person,
FDA loans. They give out FDA loans.
yes, that they don't know exist. So when she was saying, I'm like, I didn't know that exists, that you can do that. I didn't know. Like, it's so much stuff, so many grants, so much money that's out there that the average listener or the average person don't know how to get it, but it's there because they're not gonna come to the hood and tell you how to get it. You got to know. You got to know somebody that knows somebody, or you got to be a good avid reader to understand the language to do it.
Yeah,
So
and that's the thing.
yeah,
But you know how what they do with us? Why they just put it in the book?
yeah, they put it in a
put it in
book.
the contract. We ain't gonna read that shit. We're gonna skim it.
Yes. So that was it for Jamie Foxx. Now, I want to say rest in peace to Jerry Springer passed away on today peacefully in his home. He died from his battle with cancer. He passed away, and everybody I was hurt. I remember watching Jerry Springer come in the house, even in my mom's house. She didn't care what we watched, as long as we were quiet, not in her business. But we would watch Jerry Springer, and I mean, it was lit. Great TV. It was drama. Great TV. I was in love watching Jerry Springer. I would never forget seeing all type of people on the show fighting, ripping their bra, and then seeing them break up the fight. It was just so entertaining. I remember my siblings and I used to pretend to be Jerry Springer, and then I would be the security. My sister would be fighting, or people in the neighborhood. We would have our own little ghetto version of Jerry Springer's show. It was such an iconic show. He would definitely be missed. Like he worked into the end. Like he did the Judge Jerry, he did other stuff as well. And I will never forget it. I went to Judge what was that? Judge Mathis. And at that time, Jerry Springer was done, but they was like, this is where they shot Judge Mathis. I mean, the Jerry Springer show. And I'm like, I wish Jerry was there. And it was just so iconic. Like he was such an iconic person. And I just loved it. I love when I watched the show, I love drama. And Jerry Springer was that type of man. He viewed the drama.
Yeah.
And
He was the king of like I told you in the text, he was the king of scripted reality TV. He was the original, he was the originator. And because
before reality TV, yes.
Yeah, like so think about it, man. This guy went from the governor of Cincinnati to the #1, you know, what would you call his show? What genre would you put his show in? Daytime, what drama? What would it be?
I believe
it was like a reality soap opera, right?
Yes. It was very that loud content, that in your face type of content, and it was great. It did great
and
numbers.
It sucked you in because you know I mean, then you know he led the way for Maury Povich. You are not the father, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff came from Jerry, man.
Absolutely. It even Oprah had to get in the gutter with her shows and had to, you know what I mean? Because it was great competition back in the day. It dominated the demographic. I mean, people were watching. It was so entertaining. One of my friends, Pierre from the Freaky Boys, he even posted where he was talking in the audience, and you saw that, like, that was so in person and talking and to the cast or to the guests that's on there. Them producers did a great job. And then people say, "Oh, it made black people look bad." I mean,
it made everybody look bad.
Everybody, white people was on there, black people,
it was something to pass your time, or you wanted to laugh. You wanted to laugh and talk about some shit. I don't know, you know what I mean? Gossip type shit, man. You look at Jerry Springer, because everybody gonna be like, "Oh, did you see this episode? Oh, did you see that one?" You know what I mean? So it got you talking.
Yeah, it got us talking. It was so entertaining. Like it was just when they used to ring about ding ding ding, they would just go at it on idea of security.
Oh, Wiley, that gives me an idea. So I want you to do a poll with your audience. So all the people in the audience that are listening, all the people listening, this. How would y'all feel if for an episode we turn the Wiley Show into the Jerry Springer version of the Wiley Show? we
Press
bring
what?
on guests, and you get what I mean?
Because we had that. It wasn't like on camera, but on station they was cussing each other. It was a lot of drama. I was asking questions. Even our Zoom meeting, you wasn't there on the Zoom meeting that we did 2 nights ago. It was drama. It was a fight broke out between the guests, and I'm like, wow, like it's that good. That's the content that I'm accustomed to. I love the drama. I'm from the hood. I love drama, especially I love. And let's be clear, men love women fighting over them. It helps
Right.
our ego. They love that. That's what I was raised under and saw it when I had a front row seat to it. It was just great. And like the Zoom was like, they was cussing, talking about the yoni, the smell. You got baby daddy, 5 baby daddies. You don't know who your baby daddy is. Like it was like a lot of just drama. But it do exist. And it was and the ratings was through the roof. Like that Zoom, I mean, we went from like 10, 15 members to 100 members off of that drama on that Zoom because people love drama. And you get a group of women, you're going to have some drama because personalities is different. Let's be clear. And it was great. It was great. So yeah, I would love to do that in person and just have those hard conversations and that drama. I would love to do it.
It ain't even got we ain't gotta go as hard as Jerry, but all I'm saying is
It could be
all I'm
virtual.
saying is, you can add a sprinkle of it in it. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta go full Jerry. I don't know, you
Yes.
want to turn off all your viewers, but you know what I'm saying?
You
You
get
can
a
kind of,
whole other demographic. And because Zeus, do you watch the Zeus? I don't know. Like Zeus, they picked that up. All it is drama, fighting, cussing each other out. They got Orlando Brown. Hell, they bailed that man out of jail for Bad Boys, and it's just a great show. And people criticize him, oh, blah, blah, blah. But he said my audience like loud content because when they tried to be bougie and safe and typical reality, nobody watched. But when they switched the formula and had that drama-based reality, it with the Jocelyn, with Natty, all of those people, the ratings went through the roof. That now they're averaging $4 to $5 million a month off subscriptions, and majority of the subscribers is Black folks. Because let's be clear, most networks is built off of the backs of Black drama, of that controversy. Oprah, let's use that example. When she first started her network, it was all white. It catered to the middle class white people. They didn't watch it. Soon she got, how you doing? Medea and Tyler Perry have nots. It shifted, and then it got all the reality shows, and that forced BET to give Tyler Perry a deal because he was taking part of the market share. OWN was just dominating African American homes because somebody told Oprah, because if you're a billionaire, you're gonna get smarter people at the dinner table, and somebody whispered, "Oh, you're gonna have to get some Black folks." They probably use the N-word to anybody that know when you're trying to grow a network, you must cater towards the Black community because they're the most faithful out of all the demographic. We are still the most faithful in soaking in all that content. It's Black people. We did the same thing with Stars. When Ghost came out, wasn't nobody checking for Stars like that. Soon, when Ghost came out, we made that into a power player. And to this day, they got power this, power that, and then they got, the stripper P Valley, because they understand that Black people, if you speak their language, we gonna watch it and pay our money for that subscription. And that's why they're $1 billion thing. Yeah, they say, yes, Oprah needed Tyler to save her network. Needed it. Because without it, it would have been out of business. And he saved it. And now Tyler Perry is in talks of buying BET. All right. So I want to get to Death So Raven. The lady that was on there, I didn't catch her name. She was the white girl. Did y'all know that they wanted Raven Simone to be the sidekick and not the main character? And then she was like, because of racism. I was shocked a little bit, but then I understand. Disney, most people is white. So they probably did not want a Black woman to be a sidekick. They wanted her to be the sidekick. They always want white people. I didn't even know this, Don, that Steve Harvey show, that they wanted Steve Harvey and a white guy to be his roommate, to be the football coach. It was Steve Harvey that said, if you want me to do this show, I need Cedric the Entertainer, or I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, because always they're gonna be white, because they always believe white is right, and they believe that black people cannot cross over to the white market, and that's dumb. Because white people
Yeah.
love black folks to entertain them. That's just facts. Look at hip hop. Most hip hop music buyers are white folks. Suburban kids are bumping their
Take it
head
even
to.
further. When you go to your favorite rapper concert, you see more whites than anything.
Absolutely, white people. Look at Lizzo, whites. Majority of Nicki Minaj fans are white folks that purchase like the kind of that's who are really the leaders of this. They love our music. They might not want to live with us. They are sleep with us in secret. But you know, they love to be entertained by us. So yeah, that's something great. So yeah, so when I saw that, I wasn't shocked. But it's so sad Orlando Brown addicted to drugs and he have a whole mental breakdown. That's quite sad because he was very, very, very good. And he started when he was 6 years old in as a child actor. And now look what he had. He's not in his right mind.
Cause man, is I think Hollywood robbed him of his innocence. Just point blank
Absolutely.
period.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Because a
mean?
child's supposed to be nurtured. Yes.
Man, have you seen a Dick Gregory? Dick Gregory did an interview where he was talking about Michael Jackson and how he still had the mind of a baby because you know he didn't have a childhood because the childhood was destroyed. And that's why he made Never Never Land and you know a lot of other little characteristic traits Michael Jackson had. But I'm just saying that to say this that like at the end of the day, most of those kids in Hollywood, man, they don't have a childhood. You know what I mean? And you know they when they get older in their 20s, they lose second childhood. You know what I mean? And that's the time when you know your mind is focused on okay, if you're in your 20s, you know what's my next move? How I'm gonna further my career? You know they thinking about all the time they didn't do and all the things they didn't do as a baby. You know what I mean? I didn't get to
Absolutely.
do this, and so that's why you see them go do all these crazy things when they jump out and they get independent because they didn't get a chance to do it. And then that's when all the fuck ups come. You just hope they don't make enough mess ups to where it hurt them in the future. But that's the reality of all these celebrity kids, man. Look at Raven. She cut. Remember, she cut her hair. And she was doing all that crazy shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
all of them done had psychological breakdown, bro. Name one Hollywood celebrity as a kid that you ain't seen in public that was looked like they was out of there, broke down. All the B2K dudes, like think about it. Everybody who was in that Hollywood stuff, man, all of them got issues. All of them had issues in the public eye too. So
Because I don't think God meant for a child to do adult work. Because when you in Hollywood,
agreed.
you an adult. You got responsibility, you got to be on set, and people depend on you. And that's too much pressure on a child. Because let's be clear, like Don, if I had a son, he's in Hollywood, he's making $5-10 million. My income, my livelihood depend on my child, and that shouldn't be. And that's a lot of pressure on the child. I was reading a book, and in title of it, "Thank God My Mother Died," and this child actor was talking about the pressure she was under being in Hollywood as a child star. And how her mother forced her to go on auditions and forced her to cry. I'm like, God ain't meant for a child to go through that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have his son going through all. Jesus didn't die on the cross when he was 12 years old. He was a fully grown
Right.
man. If anybody had the strong responsibility, it would have been his son. But he didn't get into healing folks until he became a grown adult, until he's about 30, as the scripture said. So when we talk about now, you want your kid, let's be clear, you got kids that's in pageants. Some of them have been losing their mind. You got people that force their kids in gymnastics and all of that. Look at that. Let's be clear. Look at the Jackson 5. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at how they affected because their father pushed them so early into working, and they had to tour. Like
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't have time to go to school, and then they had to get up in the 2 hours, and you traveling around this, and then you couldn't play with friends due to security risks. Like Michael never could have, he couldn't go to the store. You know what I'm saying? One time he tried to go to the mall, they had to
Yeah, those
rush
yeah.
out of it because of the security threat, because of the fans. It's
Yeah,
just so
I
sad.
mean, but you got those parents living vicariously through their kids.
Oh,
And
that's
you know what I
true.
mean? Like it's almost like the I call it the head cheerleader syndrome, right? And you can just look this shit up. I swear to you, I call it the head cheerleader syndrome. Like it's almost like every time I meet a woman who was on a cheer squad or the head cheerleader or prom queen or some shit like that, they put that shit on their daughter. You gotta be it because I was that. I was on the cheer squad. You gotta be on it. You know what I mean? It's that psychological. Like a lot of kids be like, I don't want to do that shit in this day and age. Like, how many kids you know really lining up to be cheerleader? Like, I want to be a professional
Oh.
cheerleader. I want to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
No, and that
No.
goes with a father. If you this famous football star, you force your son to get in the same business. You
Mm-hmm.
apply that pressure. They may not want to play football. They just want to be a singer or an artist or a carpenter. They may not want to do that. And that's what I believe, that a parent must ask their child what they want to do with their life. But sometimes that's not the case. You live in my rules, you gonna do what I tell you to do. You gonna do what I tell you to do. And that's dangerous because that affects the child, because you're trying to force something on them and they're going to resist it. Some of them going to have a breakdown. Some are going to get, you know what I'm saying, on drugs or etc. Like I had a friend that grew up in the church that I grew up in. They used to always do this when she would get straight A's. They would put in front of church, congratulations, you got straight A's. It applied the pressure. And then when she got a bad grade, like a B or a C, oh, we so ashamed. You shouldn't do that. You always get A. That allowed pressure. And then when she went to college, she came home one time. She had a mental breakdown. She had to go to the mental hospital. But they forget, like I remember when they put her on this pedestal and I believe she got pregnant and that's a no-no in church. Like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant without being married? Like all that pressures that on a child, like it's weird. Like I think God didn't meant for us to put that much type of pressure on a child that early.
And
You know what I'm saying?
adults
And
can't
that's a
handle
lot
that
on the
damn
adult.
pressure, man.
Yeah.
We can't handle pressure like that. Perfect example. So when was the last time you worked two jobs, like two full-time jobs?
It was yes, I've done it before.
So now think about the two. So think about it from just a pressure standpoint. If when you work in two jobs, like that sleep kind of come thin, and so sometimes
Absolutely.
you can doze off for 30 minutes and end up being 2 hours. You get what I'm saying? So imagine a kid, with that responsibility, because you're talking about, if you working in Hollywood, you're working about 16 hours a day.
Absolutely.
That's two full-time jobs, because you got the
Absolutely.
full-time job on the set, you got the full-time job learning the script. You get what I'm saying? Getting into character and all these things. So like, bro, just oh my God, I can't imagine.
Because
I wouldn't.
I remember I was doing 16-hour shifts every day and I couldn't sleep and I had a breakdown at work.
Yeah,
And I finally found out they used to say caregiver burnout. I was burnt out. I was lashing out on people. I broke down in tears in the office. They brought me in the office. They said, "What's going on?" They said, "I think you got caregiver burnout." I just broke down in tears because I was overwhelmed. I was just work because I didn't know how to say no. They would call me every day. Can you come in and do the double? Can you come in? And then when I would go home, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. And then by the time I go to sleep, I got to get right back up and go to work. So it broke me. And so I was a grown man. Can you imagine? I'm 9 years old doing that. Like,
yeah, bro.
that's a lot. And then you get your parents say, you got to do this because this is how we get to stay in this house. This is how we get to pay the mortgage. That's a lot of pressure on a child because it's a lot of pressure on me as an adult. So I know damn well it's a lot of people. My niece is 6 years old. And I don't think that is right for her to be working 16, 17-hour days.
Hey, it just
I don't think it's right at all. Hold
that's
on one second.
have invested a so-called under their kids, and the kids being famous is the reward. You know what I mean? Almost like, look at Whitney Houston daddy. What he say? When your mama was on tour, I was the one changing your diapers and da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
And that ain't got nothing to do with you still screwing this lady out of all her money, using, you know what I mean, using her as a human ATM. You know what I'm saying? That don't
Mhm.
justify that because you was the father and you know what I mean? And then like, how can you say no to your parents too? You put a kid in that kind of situation. Like, I want to take care of y'all, but
Yes.
damn, you can't help me with me.
And
So
and 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 when you brought up Whitney Houston movie, did you see that part when she went to visit her father in the hospital room? And on his
mm-hmm.
deathbed, he was talking about the money.
$100 million. Grabbed her by her throat, grabbed her by her chest.
She,
Like,
she, she, and she didn't go to the funeral because they were at odds when
right.
he died.
Man,
It's
when
just,
if he would have pulled me and told me 100 million, man, I'd have pulled that plug out. See if you're holding me so strong. Let's see if you can hold your breath, nigga.
because he pulled her right there, 100 million. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
bro. Yeah, I'd have had to rip it. I'd have ripped all the oxygen out his nose and everything. Nah, bro, we're gonna see what you do.
He
We're
grabbed
gonna see
her
what you
up,
do.
and that's a true story. Like, yeah, and then people
Yeah,
were saying that's why she didn't go to the funeral. They was at odds. That's a lot. And then you see now, and she's not here to tell the story. It's broken. Then her
right.
daughter, that trauma went to the daughter. That she saw all this trauma and being seeing mama getting high and so much stuff that she witnessed. A tour is not meant for a child. And she saw that, and she's not with us today. Like, that generation just gone. That
Yeah,
line is just gone right there. So sad. That's why you have to be careful, bringing your children in this business. And I know Sissy Houston probably regret getting her daughter into this music business. I know she probably regret that as an old woman. If not, then she probably don't want to think of it. But it's just sad, like Michael Jackson, the same thing. He died young. He was in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? Whitney
yeah.
he was in her 50s or late 40s or
No,
early 50s.
I think she was 48.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this was sad. Like, they did not get to live full life. Was it worth it? No, it really wasn't. Because you ain't able to live up or, the on your fruit of your labor. Somebody else is living up on that. Pat Houston and what this is make. And and your daughter is gone. So was it worth it? In hindsight, 2020, no, it was not worth it.
Mm-mm.
So that's what you got to be very careful. And so that's why I take my mental health serious. Like, now I don't go like the new me. I do my YouTube channel. I go to work when I can. If I can pick up a shift, I can. I have those boundaries in place. And I save so I don't have to, I put a little money away so I don't have to work every time. And then I make sure that I ain't go out having all these kids and be like Tyrese and don't want to pay your child support. And let's talk about that really quickly before we get into Beyonce.
Okay.
Tyrese was ordered to pay child support. But before that, he said, I want you to get Ben Crump. This is injustice. The judge is just racist. And I'm like, brother, you saying you don't want to pay no child support, brother. Pay your child support. The man make a lot of money. He makes a lot of money. He was just on a podcast, R&B Money, talking about his market share when he joined TGT with Tang Genuine and himself. And he was talking about how much money he make from a movie, So you got the money, and it's just sad that he was embarrassing himself, and he have a little issues that he need to work through. But he wanted us as Black folks that don't have his money or the share of the marketplace, want us to rally behind and march because he don't want to pay no child support. You're responding because you're a father. Like, I don't think you're a real man when you have to be forced. Now, I understand there's some women that put men on child support just to be petty. I ain't talking about that. But if a woman have to go out her way to get a court order for you to take care of responsibility, in my mind, you're not a real man.
Nah, you gotta take care of yours, man. Like, I never understood that, man. Like, honestly, from a mental standpoint, I never understood how you can get a woman pregnant and this your baby, right? And you see this woman struggling with this baby, bro. And like that take a special kind of person. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like the kid didn't choose this. The kid didn't choose his parents. In hindsight, they did, but that's a whole nother subject. But but at the end of the day, you know, you did what you did to bring this kid here, and you're responsible for this kid. You know what I mean? And like, for you to not give any support to the kid is just mind-boggling to me. I get it. Okay, just say if he was a broke dude, bro. Kids don't care about money. Kids care about time.
Mm-hmm.
Kids would rather have time and money any day of the week, bro. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost no money to keep it real with a kid. Kids are understanding. I mean, they know and they see more than we expect and we think they do anyway. Any kid, like I was a kid, grew up in the 80s in the drug area. Man, the drug era. I knew my mom and them was on that crack shit, bro. I was 4, 5 years old. I knew what that shit was.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? You couldn't hide. You like at the end of the day, bro, it's some people that just know. Some kids, like when everything is out and open, like me, I would say I've been on my own since I was 7. So it wasn't no I could go to school and none of that. I ain't had none of that shit. So I had a choice whether I want to go to school or not. Wasn't no adults in the household, bro. Months on end. You know what I mean? That type of shit. So at the end of the day, bro, like I knew, like when you a kid and you exposed to all that shit, bro. Like Whitney Houston daughter was, you can't be exposed to that stuff and not, you know what I mean? Come on, man. You can't. You I put it like this. Like I tell you all the time, Wiley. I've been on my own since I was 7. I've seen everything you can possibly see. And the crazy thing about that shit is you can't unsee it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Once the gateways to your brain is open to to whatever you're exposed to, ain't no you can't erase it out of your memory, bro. You know what I'm saying? So these kids know, bro. Like, I mean, like you'll be a fool. Like I tell anybody, and I work with kids, bro. I'm a teacher from pre-K all the way up into 6th grade. I tell anybody that work with kids, bro. If man, just you really want to know what a kid know, what a kid don't know, you can ask the kid anything, and the kid to give you an honest. The only person on earth that'll give you an honest, unfiltered, you know, answer to your questions. But you know what I'm saying? Because kids see feelings and they ain't got no reason to lie to you if the feelings is mutual. You know what I mean? Kids don't see color, kids see feelings. So that's what I'm saying, bro. So these kids know, bro. So Whitney was right about not having her daughter being exposed to that shit on tour. And like I said, these kids gonna know Tyrese ain't shit. Because trust me, the mama gonna say something, the uncle's gonna say something, somebody gonna say something, right? And then that baby can't unhear that shit. I don't care if that baby 2, 3, 4. Subconsciously, man, that shit gonna stick with that kid. Cause you're talking about the kid's father. You know what I mean? So Tyrese just a piece of shit for it. At the end of the day, bro, I mean, you a Hollywood dude, you ain't got the time. Get a kid the time, but you ain't gonna get a kid the money.
Mm.
You ain't giving them both. We know that. We get that. You ain't gonna give them both, but give them one. So that's it.
I look at, I was raised and I saw my mother with the bottle, drinking. And I knew that she had an issue. I didn't could put my finger on it, but I knew she was different. She was a different person. And I remember one time the social worker told her what was going on. And she said, I know it affects you when you see me drink. And I had to get out of it because it affected me. To this day, when I drink every once. I'm a social drink because I never wanted to pick up that addiction because I know how you be when you become drunk. And I talk a lot of mess sober. Can you imagine me drunk? So, and she said a lot of stuff out her mouth, and her mouth was reckless. And that's why I got my reckless mouth from. So I said I never want to do that because I know it affects people around you, and I will never forget how she made me feel that way. And it took me a while to rebuild the relationship. And I love her from a distance, like I see it, boom, boom, but I'm not around them like full time because I know what she battled with. And a lot of people don't talk about it enough, about addictions and how it affects the children and how it affects you become an adult. So that's why I always tell people, listen, ain't nothing wrong going to a therapist. Ain't nothing wrong talking to somebody about your issues because you have to work through that trauma. Because
Hold up, Wiley.
oh yeah, go ahead. All right, he's doing so. I refuse to go through that experience and have my children to go through that. So that's why I'm working through my situations now. They said Paul is real. Yes. The man is crazy. Money don't keep a woman. He was emotional narcissist, and she got tired of that mess. He got away without paying his child support for over a year, and now he's upset. Yeah. So let's move on from that. So we talked about Tyrese. Now let's get into Beyonce IRS debt. I believe she's trying to challenge the $2.7 million that she owed to the IRS. Many people were saying, "Oh, she got the money, she should pay it." But if you know anything about money, just because the IRS say you owe 2.7 million, they have to prove that you owe that amount of money. And once you have the money, you can challenge it. All right, anybody can. You just got to have the resources and the know how to do it. It is the same thing to Jay-Z. He challenged it, and the IRS owed him money. So you can do it. You know, I think a rich person is just not gonna just give away $2.7 million. You got to, they're gonna make sure, like, if their advisors say, I don't think you owe that, they're gonna fight it. But what was your thoughts on that? Did it make you, because at first I'm like, oh, she must be broke. But then when I looked at it, I'm like, no, she's just making sure that she believes that she don't owe this, and she's gonna check it and double check it and challenge it.
Man, rich people don't pay taxes. Everything she's doing, and I looked at the article and I looked at some of the stuff they were charging her for and stuff like that. Beyonce been in the game how long, bro? Since she been in the game for a good 20 years, right? Since I was a teenager. Beyonce came out when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been seeing this woman for a good 20, 25 years on TV, right? And she got Jay-Z, a billionaire as a husband, businessman, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say this woman, they audited her for $876,000, I believe, for charitable donations from 2018 tax return. That was a part of the 1.8 they were saying she owed. So all I'm saying is, bro, everything's deducted and written off. Man, the rich are dealing in trust. You know what I mean? Where like everything she did, everything she can account for it. Trust me. It's the IRS. You're right about the IRS has to prove. And a lot of times when they send us the letter, we get scared and we just say, I don't want to deal with them. I'm just sending the money. You get what I'm saying? But with anything in life, if you offer a little resistance, a kickback, you'll see it's not as bad as you think. So I don't think this is a big deal. I just think a lot of times people will print something is noteworthy. It's it's almost like a smear campaign to make it seem like, oh, she doing all this, but she ain't paying no tax. She trying to cheat the taxes and blah blah blah. Man, rich people don't pay no taxes. She gonna find a way to write all that shit off, and that's just, you know what I mean. Like this, a lot of stuff is just be like I say, smear campaigns and just to somebody troll and just to put something in
To
the
make her look bad, trying to put someone, because she's not always in the news for any negativity. So anything they think they can find to make her look bad, they try to print the story. But let's be clear, I don't think she's gonna be paying the 2.7 million.
She worth a million times more than that.
Yes.
Now think about that shit. She's worth a million times more than $860 whatever $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So come on, like that's a drop in the bucket. Jay-Z's a billionaire worth 2 point what million billion.
Absolutely.
What is a million to a billionaire? That's a million times.
Absolutely.
I think I did.
Absolutely. All right. So we're gonna move on from that. Now let's get into Tasha K and Cardi B. Came out that Tasha K have to get actually Cardi B went to Google and said you got to withhold her check, and we found out that Tasha K only made $9,000 last month on YouTube. Now just keep in mind she got 1 million subscribers, only made 9,000, and we have other people that have 200 less than 200,000 bringing in 25, almost about $15,000 to $20,000 a month on YouTube. This is sad because I made a post. I'm like, I feel for her children because it's going to affect anytime you got your YouTube garnish. They're coming out of her app that she had unscreen is an app that she have through them, like a website through them. She's coming out of that as well. And she just have to save face and just say, I ain't got it, trying to save face, because in the article, the judge have to approve to get the money. So once the judge approve, I don't think she's going to be singing that, trolling her, because once the judge, okay, you can take her 9,000, okay, the judge approved, or you can take her app money, the end of that. I believe, and you can correct me on this, I believe Tasha K next step will be some type of a filing, some type of bankruptcy to at least like a stalling tactic to try to stall, that, because when Cardi tried to garnish it out of her,
Wiley, you static and I can't hear nothing you're saying.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Let me know if you. Oh, go out and come back, John. Can you go out and come back in? Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Can y'all hear me? Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Don. Let me tell him to go out and come back in. Hold on. Let me do this. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring him back on. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me call him right here. Let me call him right quick and tell him to come back on. All right. Hold on 1 second, so we can get this together. I'm gonna tell him to hit the link. Yeah. Can you come back? Oh, either do it on your phone. I think like your internet, because it was like kind of like breaking up a little bit. Or do you want to do it on the phone, the rest of it? Because we just got 2 more topics anyway. Oh, okay. Click back in and see if it worked. Oh, okay. Okay. Click back in. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 All right. So, yeah. So, the judge, if you read the language, the judge have to approve it. And then once the judge approve it and they say you can garnish that, then I think, okay. Don, you there?
Yeah,
Can you
what's
hear me
up?
now? You can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cardi reached out to Google and say, get the 9,000. And if the judge approve it, then she can start garnishing those rates for the next 3 years. What I think the strategy that Tasha is using is that once that approved, then I can go file bankruptcy and try to get it some type of protection, maybe a chapter 13, maybe even a chapter 7. Now, I've also heard from legal experts that Cardi B can challenge it and say, no, you got to pay me this debt. You know what I mean? This can be, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that's going to play out. That's like a whole nother legal battle. But at the end of the day, wow, you got all that mouth, and now you probably gonna have to file bankruptcy. And it's gonna be difficult to cry broke when you have a payroll, when you got leases, when you got cars, when you're flying out guests, when you're booking Airbnb. So it's gonna be difficult to go to the bankruptcy court and say, hey, I'm broke, I can't do it. I need to be wiped out. It's gonna be a challenge, and that's gonna make Cardi B people challenge that. If that's the case, I believe that's the next battle, because I talked to somebody in Kibi Studios that privately said that she said that is rumbling that she will be filing bankruptcy. She don't want to do it because when she come out and say I have to file bankruptcy, it will prove to the people that narrative that she's broke. And she don't want, because a narcissist never want to be, oh, you broke and all that. But that's going to be like the next step. So I think that once Cardi B get that approval, I think the next step, she's going to get a bankruptcy and she's just going to file bankruptcy. And that's going to be the next battle. Now, who got the longer money? Cardi got the time and she got the resources. And you're dealing with somebody that is black, and you're the first generation into some money. But then also, Tasha owed the IRS. So she had multiple debts on top of debts. And you still got to come on camera like me and Don. All right, y'all, here talking about, blah, blah. You still got to keep this facade up. But I understand human behavior that you're a married couple, Don. If your wife gets y'all in $4 million in debt, that's not no honeymoon. It's some cussing, some arguments.
Man.
You know, and you gotta leave your beautiful home to go move to another state. It's some drama. Go ahead.
That situation would be different than any other situation between husband and wife. because he helped her instigate it. He helped her bury him. You get what I mean? Right?
Yes.
And so you had two. I'm not gonna say I'm not call nobody dumb or anything like that, but you had two uninformed people masterminding together as a couple, as a power couple, and that shit went horribly wrong. You know what I mean? Like you say, all he had to do was not show the edit, just delete it. He didn't want to do that. He put it out there, and then look what happened. So her and her husband conspired against each other. They both helped destroy the brand equally. You know what I mean? And so when that takes place, both of them trying to scramble. He trying to scramble and try to probably hide something. She trying to scramble and trying to hide something. You know what I mean? They both fussing at each other. It's your fault. It's your fault. Ain't no telling what's going on over there. But I tell you what, they ain't doing what we doing right now, talking peacefully.
They ain't talking peacefully because they're not talking. Because Tasha, she went on another platform, and Armand Wiggins' friend platform, she went on defense just to drag me. You're not insulting my eye, my weight, unless I'm hitting on something that is the truth. Because when somebody at this big person got all these millions of followers, got to respond to the Wiley, he's speaking truth. And then that next day, an article come out that your YouTube check's about to get garnished, and it's affecting her. It's affecting her sleep. It's affecting her content. And the kicker is that she only make 9,000. That's so low when she got 1 million subscribers. I thought it would at least say 20,000. You know what I mean? But $9,000 when I can look at Armand Wiggins. We talked about how much he made. He make almost about 15 to 16,000. He got 177,000 subscribers, and you got 1 million. And the only thing you made on YouTube last month was $9,000. So wow, it's just a lot.
Is that so? I'm not familiar with YouTube numbers, but if you can inform me and the viewers, like how does based on every, say you have 30,000 subscribers, so based on 30,000 subscribers, what would be the pay like, and then you can equate that to 100.
Last month I made $4,000 on YouTube.
Okay.
And I got 30,000. That shouldn't be. You got 1 million subscribers and your check is only 9,000. Something, and that's what I know that her brand took a hit because her views are not the same. Because let's be clear, once you start this salacious type of brand, lying on folks, exposing, people want to see, okay, who the next celebrity you're gonna lie on. They don't want to see you talk, let's talk about Jerry Springer and all about his past. No, they want you lying. They want you to say Jerry Springer died from a drug overdose. He on heroin, 3 prostitutes, and I got the receipts. They are used to that because you built your brand with that. And if you can't deliver that, your audience go away because you're trying to be this rebrand and they ain't checking for the rebrand. They want salacious lies. And she can't do it because once Cardi B accomplished the lawsuit, you think the media, the celebrities ain't talking. They talk like we talking. So she know I can't get in another lawsuit. You can't afford another lawsuit because you can't even pay this. So you can't afford it.
Yeah.
And so now she is trying her best with the Steve Harvey thing. But Steve Harvey, that man sue. He don't play. He sued a blogger so bad, she ain't on the internet no more. She was scared. He sent so many people after her housing, after her link. He just sent people because when rich people got the time, they can throw everything at you. You poor. You don't have a strong defensive. They got money. They could go every day, find stuff, and she's no longer on the internet. So with Tasha, I don't feel bad. The only people I feel bad for is the children because that's their inheritance. That's their college fund. That's their, you know what I'm saying, $4 million. Who don't nobody, not even a rich person, want to just give away $4 million.
True.
So that just don't make. And then she keeps saying, "I'm so smart." No, you're not. A smart business person don't just have to give away $4 million. No, no, that's not smart at all. Because let's be clear, the average African American household will never see $4 million in a lifetime. Especially if you're talking about a black business owner, the average black business average $30,000-$40,000 a year with one employee. It's not too many thriving black businesses, let's be clear, that's grossing $40-50 million. You know what I'm saying? So for you to take away $4 million to give it to somebody else, that's going to hurt her for a lifetime. And I don't think she's going to recover, because in order for her to recover, she got to be salacious, or she going to have to do what Black China and try to be a preacher and a prophet and pray for open up a church. That can work, you know. But other than that, I don't think it's work. I think it's going to affect her marriage. I think that her husband going to leave her. And I think and this is when I know the bottom half fell out, Don, when it come out that she's got to let go of her employees. That's when I know that that's it. Because when she have to let go of her employees, because when you file bankruptcy, you got to start laying people off. Like Bed Bath and Beyond, when they filed, was that Chapter 13? They shutting stores down. That's it. You know, they're gonna shut the stores down. So when it comes to Tasha, once she have to go and file the bankruptcy, and then it comes out that she have to let go of her employees, then that's when we want to know that it's the bottom has fell out. And it's going to happen. Is it Bed Bath and Beyond? They have to, it's going to happen. And so I've heard rumblings through people. They say it's going to happen. They say she's under a lot of stress and that she have no choice but to show up Bath and Body. You know, she have to show up every day on the internet, have a face. And then her content not hitting the same because she ain't sitting there lying on people. You see, once you sit there and lie, you got to keep it up. You got to say, what's the next lie? And then I want to say this. You all said just because you filed bankruptcy, you're not broke. But to the average person, when you say bankruptcy to the average person, they're going to say you're broke. And when the blogs get it, they're going to say Cardi B bankrupt Tasha K. That's why she don't want to do it, because they're going to say she's a liar, she's broke. Look at the joke. The jokes write themselves, you know, and so, but we know if you got knowledge, just because you filed bankruptcy don't necessarily mean that you broke. But to the average listeners, Hawaiianos, they're going to say she broke. And I'm going to say it too. It is what it is. And then when she lay off them employees, because she got to prove, like, she got to start laying people off, because you cannot go to bankruptcy and say, well, I'm broke, but then you got all this payroll, you flying people out. That's going to be difficult to go to the bankruptcy court and say that, because you know Cardi going to have her people challenge all that. They're going to challenge it. And then Tasha got to spend more money. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't she have to spend money with bankruptcy lawyers? Ain't that more bread that she got to spend?
Yes.
So that's more money.
Another set of legal paperwork
coming out of your company. Plus, you got to do your payroll, your lights. You got leases with studios. It's going to affect her, and she know it. And because Cardi B, I think Cardi B is using her as an example, and she doing this on the behalf of celebrities that she didn't lie on, and said bankrupt her, take her for every dime that she have, and she ain't playing, because Cardi got lawyers. That's all they got. Their sole job is how to get that money. They live and breathe how to get that money, and they love to do it for a black person. So they great. They love to snatch wealth from a black person. Let's be clear on that. But go ahead.
Well, I asked you this question based on what you just said, and this will go to the audience as well. Leave your comments. What do you guys think TK can do to restore protection? Say, I'll give my opinion would be, in order for her to restore some remnants of her reputation, pride and ego has to go out the window. She has to humble herself and apologize sincerely. So all the people she's hurt during the process of this come up, so-called, you know what I mean? It's almost like now you gotta face those who you wrong. You know what I mean? and she's done so on just opinion. I don't come back from it.
Yeah, it's
You get what
breaking
I
up
mean?
some.
She like
Yeah, it's
this
breaking up
was
at the last
detrimental
part.
to her health.
Yeah, it was breaking up of the last part, but I want to
Okay.
echo this. Uh, you're right. She's going to have to apologize. She's going to kind of have to come out and be sorry. But we're talking about a known narcissist liar that cannot lay her ego to the side, which is dangerous because Fox News. I look at them as an understanding. Fox News got sued for hundreds of millions of dollars. They went to the courts. They got it thrown out. The judge said, y'all got to go to trial. Fox News knew, okay, let's settle. If they got that common sense and they know they was wrong, they lied, why didn't Tasha listen? And she had to listen to the judge. The judge told her lawyer, go back to law school, go back to the first year of law school, settle it, take it down, recant. She didn't do it. So it ain't like that Cardi B just sued her and just automatic. No, this was a lengthy process. She had multiple opportunities to take it down, recant, and move on. She taunted her, harassed her, lied on her, and didn't do it. So now this is the consequence. And now she wants the sympathy. Oh, she shouldn't do that. What about her children? Well, she should have thought about her children before she got out that line about Cardi. Period. You should have thought about your babies while you got out there and lied, knowing that you lied. And then when she got into the courtroom, she said, well, I said that stuff about Cardi because she had to pay for she could afford a therapist. She could afford a therapist to go through that. So that's why I did it. You think Cardi is not going to pay her back? And all the harassment and all the people that still believe that she have this incurable disease. So she is showing and setting a precedent that you just cannot say anything about a public figure that you can be sued. Now, let's be clear. A defamation suit is hard to prove for a public figure. She was able to prove it and she won. Do you know how difficult it is to get a case off the ground for a defamation lawsuit for a public figure? Look at the threshold you have to meet. She done met it, and the jury said, you're liable. And then she tried to appeal it, and she lost. It went nowhere.
Yeah.
So she's just a loser. And so when you Google her name in the blogs, liar, broke, Cardi B, the new owner of Kiwi Studio, they're just dragging her, not talking about her being an amazing mother, an amazing interviewer, amazing, have her own app, just a bit. It's just all drag. When Complex released their list of top leading media personality, Tasha K went on that list. She's a joke in this business. Everybody is laughing at her. And they said, look at her, the lady that got herself in a $4 million suit. And she understands it. That's why she ain't going live today. Because why? Most of them comments is going to be dragging her for filth because of the lawsuit that she have with Cardi, that Cardi B is now taking her checks. Now, that was that piece. Now, last part of Don, I want to talk about Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj. They're going to be in allegedly a versus battle. From my sources and people in the industry, they're saying that Nicki want to do this because she is known in the industry as a bitch. So she want to clear up her image by going toe-to-toe with a legend and to make it seem like, okay, I'm rebuilding this bridge. I'm not this bitch and all of that. That's what she want to do. And Kim want to do it, and she's asking for a couple of million to stat total. And I don't blame Kim. You want to get paid. I don't remember. So this is going to be so iconic. I'm hearing it's projections that this is going to be one of the highest, if the most viewed versus battle ever in the history of versus. Me personally, who I think is going to win this versus battle, I think Kim is going to win. Because I don't think Nicki is going to do her pop records because she's going to go toe-to-toe with Kim with her hip-hop rap record due to the fact that Kim got classics and we don't know what she going to do, if she going to bring Diddy to come up there. I think it's going to be a battle and Kim going to bring her A game because this will be the first time ever she's going to be reintroduced to a new demographic, to the whole head into a whole new group. Because you remember when Missy Elliott performed on the Super Bowl, they thought she was a new artist. The young kids thought she was a new artist. So this is going to help her bottom line and stuff like that. And also, Lil Kim, I did get the word from one of her members of our team. Her book is finished and she will be dropping a new album And if the versus battle go through, it's not in black or white, she's gonna release all that, which I think is smart, right after the versus battle with Nicki Minaj. Now, who you think gonna win it? Nicki Minaj or Lil Kim?
Bruh. I'll put it to you like this. I think Nicki gonna dog her. I mean, this is not even. I don't think it's even. I don't think it's a fair fight, honestly.
I, I,
But
I
what I'll say what I'll say is this. What I say is this. Um, it all like I sent you a text. It all depends on which songs they pick.
absolutely,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? It all depends on which. If Nicki, you know, if Nicki just want to just blow her out the window, all Nicki got to do is pick all the songs that transcended a whole generation of girls. She got a whole bunch of them, bro. If she used the word like the songs that had world appeal, I mean she can still use some of the songs but she can bring out Drake and Lil Wayne. I mean, what if she bring out the whole Young Money, Cash Money? You know what I mean? But Nicki don't got the features that Kim would have. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kim got the feature. So I remember when Eve and Trina did a battle, and everybody said Eve got it, and Trina blew it out of the park.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I say this about East Coast women. It just East Coast artists really don't make songs that make your ass shake, right? I'm just being real. Think about how many New York artists you know that had you shaking your ass in the club. I'm being real with you.
That's true. That's true.
How many New York songs really had you this my jam in the club? Like that females.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Absolutely.
And
That's
and all Nicki gotta do is play those songs. Nicki can play 3 or 4 strip club songs and it'll be a rap. This is an unfair fight. It should
I
be
think
Lil Kim, somebody like that in her, or Queen Bee. You know, talking about like back in the day, like Missy, somebody in her era.
I think that it's a good business decision for this point. Kim do not
Yeah.
need to go toe to toe with somebody that's deaf like Foxy. That ain't gonna work. To help Kim rebrand, because she's still currently releasing music and going on tour, it makes sense business wise to work with Nicki. I'm a wrestling fan. This was the biggest rival in female history, other than Kim and Foxy. So, as a fan of both Nicki and Kim, it makes sense to put it on the floor, let them first go at it. It makes sense. Foxy can't hardly hear. So, and she didn't really have a battle with Nicki. They was quote unquote friends. But Nicki and Lil Kim, in order for Kim to do it, she wasn't going to do it unless she did it with Nicki. Because in her mind, I'm an icon. I want to come for the new queen or the new girl on the block. And we're going to go back and forth. And I think Kim, even if she lose, she still win because number one, she get money, she getting paid, her stream's gonna
It's
go
a
up.
win-win for Lil Kim,
It's
regardless.
a multiple win-win for Kim. She's gonna go on
It's,
tour.
I
Yeah,
Kim.
yeah. Hold on one second. You were breaking up some, Don. You was breaking up some, Don. And then the promoter's
I'm in
job.
my kitchen. I should have did this in my office.
Okay. And then the promoter job gonna be like, you know what, Nicki and Kim, y'all need to go on tour and go on arenas. And they say you bring the old school with the new school, that's gonna sell out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And split it down the middle. Sometimes Kim gonna headline in her area. Sometimes Nicki gonna headline. It was the same thing that happened with SWV and Escape. They did a tour, and what developed out of that? Reality show and a concert, and now SWV doing their thing and Escape doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? So that would be a good thing all over for Kim and for Nicki, because it will show that Nicki can humble herself to work with a woman that she was a fan, technically that she that she got some ideas with the clothes and the music and her style. She got it from Kim. I think that will be the great thing. And so when it comes to Foxy, she's deaf and she can't hardly hear like that. And I don't think that it makes sense for Lil Kim and Foxy. Not gonna happen. Kim don't get it on. She ain't going with no Foxy. It don't make sense business wise. What makes sense business wise is to go toe to toe with Nicki Minaj. That is the story. It reminded me with Brandy and Monica. The reason why, it was on the news, it was on the blogs and everything. This is going to reach international news, and Kim and Nicki both will walk out of that place as winners because their pocket's going to be fatter. They global brand going to be larger. And Kim, if she play her cards right, this could be a great rebrand for her to do a biopic, do her own fashion, clothing line. It's a win-win situation. And that chat is going to be filled with the Beehive, Kim fans, and with the Nicki fans, and with even Joe Budden. Even when they did it, it was a debate. So it's already driving conversation. In multiple channels, they're talking about it. Well, Kim gonna do, Nicki had this, and Kim did that. It's just a great conversation. Everybody like a story. Everybody like, it's like the Mike Tyson fight. Everybody like competition, and everybody love that, and they're hungry. And I just love it, man. I'm gonna be there watching. I know you're gonna watch. I'm watching, and everybody on this channel, and they mama gonna be watching because it's gonna be great. Everybody gonna have their faves, and at the end of the day, they both gonna walk out richer. And Kim needed, she just paid back her tax debt. So this will absolutely help Kim's bottom line. And then when she released her project after that in the book, it's going to sell. Her album going to sell. Then she's going to get more features opportunity because now Kim is the next big thing. It's like she's a new artist now to people that don't know that she's still out here doing music because half of the country don't know that Kim is still out here. They think she gone. And so that would just introduce her to a whole new demographic. So I say, go ahead, Kimmy Blanca. I said, go ahead, Onika. And I'm going to be there for them both. All right. So thank you all so very much. All right. Give me a second here. Let me read some of y'all comments. It's going to be a beautiful show. No, thank you. I'm going to be right here. Let's go, Kim. But I feel like it's generous. I hope I said it right. Like, yeah, they did a show together and they're really not going to mess with each other at the end of the day. But Brandy and Monica didn't do a tour, but it helped their bottom line. And then when Brandy released her album, it helped her. It helped her with the stream. So definitely do that. Also, we'll be back next week with Two Man and a Lady. Again, the lady that was supposed to come due to her scheduling difficulties, she could commit to tonight. But we said the show must go on. And so we will be back next Thursday and we have a great opportunity. But thank you to Brother Dime for coming through and having the time for that. So I dropped the link if anybody want to come on and speak. Really quickly, we will open the floor for about 5 minutes. If you want to say something, you can come on here. They said it's the Gen X versus millennials. That's going to be great. That's a good moneymaker. And to promoters, they want this. I talked to one promoter. He said, Wiley, this is great because this helps our bottom line because if it's a success, then we can negotiate a deal and be like, okay, Nicki, y'all should do a tour. Kim versus Nicki, blah, blah, blah. The battles of both worlds, whatever they can name it. And that's like a moneymaker. That's a huge moneymaker. And Nicki want to do it. And from my understanding, she want to do it. She don't want to be considered the bitch. She don't want to be considered the bully. She want to be considered that she could be a good, working with people. And let's be clear, Kim and Nicki should resolve this as women because most of their beef came from men in power that pinned them against each other. For them to work together, it will send a message to people in the industry, especially women, that even our difficulties, we can get that paper. So I would love to see it, and I would love to see how this is going to play out in the media. All right. Hello. Can you hear me? Is it Deja?
It's Deja. Hi, Wiley.
Deja, welcome.
I just wanted to speak on the Kim and Nicki topic. I think that you made some valid points, but the points that you made only benefit little Kim. I agree with the lady in the chat, you're next, when she said it would be disingenuous because it would. I think the only way a versus should take place is these two women actually sit down and have a conversation with each other, woman to woman, actually hash out their issues. Because if you think about it, this versus will not benefit Nicki at all. Nicki don't need the money. She don't need the sales. She don't need the streams. But just like you said, Lil Kim just paid her IRS tax debt from 13 years ago just recently. So she need the money, she need the sales, and she need the streams. So it does give disingenuous vibes, and it does give that this would only benefit Kim. How could this possibly benefit Nicki?
Well, let's be clear. Nicki Minaj didn't go number one.
Yep.
Nicki Minaj didn't go number one.
Mm-hmm.
Nicki Minaj she have when the last time she had a diamond album, if it ever exists. Nicki Minaj's brand herself, how she been criticized, she been dragged. She don't have a Grammy. She won a Grammy. So Nicki Minaj has been judged and dragged by many people and the counterparts. They say you are evil in this industry. We don't like you. We only deal with you because you're Nicki, but you're not likable. When you talk about Kim is very likable in the business. So this will help them both, because let's be clear, when the last time Nicki Minaj went on a world tour with arenas? When the last time?
Nicki Minaj went on a world tour back in 2018. And she started on her.
What years it now?
Okay, can I finish making my points to rebuttal yours? One, Nicki Minaj, since she has been dropping, do we have a problem with number two? Lil Kim have not seen a chart in years. So there's a comparison right there that Nicki Minaj wins there. Nicki Minaj has consistently charted since she debuted 15 years ago. It's been 15 years. It is plenty iconic legends who do not have Grammys. So that is invalid, because if we keep it a buck, the only reason why Lil Kim have a Grammy is not because of her solo songs, but it's because of group project Lady Marmalade with Christina Aguilera and Maya and Pink. It's not for none of her records. It's for a remake.
But in order for it to qualify for it, it's because Kim got on the record. It would have never.
That's not true.
Because Kim got on the record. But also, it's been 5 years ago of Nicki did it. And let's be clear, Nicki want to do this. If Nicki didn't want to do it,
no, she didn't.
Nicki want to do a versus battle. Nicki and Kim, I believe this, that they have already talked, because the language of Kim shifted. If you remember, oh girl, I'm on that girl. She did. Now, a couple of years ago,
and yeah, you have a very valid point of the.
She's singing a different tune about Nicki Minaj, right?
And Wiley. And can I just respond right there? You have a
thing
point.
With Nicki. Nicki even gave her credit too. So I think they have.
But Nicki's always gave her credit in regards to inspiration. And you have a point when you said Kim's tone has changed. It really had, because she did used to say that girl. But here's the thing. Kim's tone had changed when Versus was popping at the height of the pandemic. She knew, just like you named these good beneficial factors that would benefit her, Kim know a Versus with Nicki would benefit her. But if you really think about it, Nicki Minaj don't need to be on no stage with Lil Kim doing no verses. It's just like Don said, the person that needs to be on the stage doing the verses with Lil Kim is Foxy Brown. She's not 100% deaf. She's partially deaf. It makes no sense.
Lil Kim not gonna do that because in her mind, I'm the queen, and I had a beef that is current with Nicki.
It's not current.
And to this day, they still in Lotto and Cardi B fans. I'm reading the Twitter. Look how you did, Lil Kim. Blah 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 blah. That's the major argument. So it makes sense as a business person when you tune into versus. It makes sense for them. They be like, shit. Damn, can you imagine the people in the chat and sharing it?
But Wiley, can I ask you this?
Not with Foxy. Ain't nobody checking. They don't even hardly know who Foxy is. Let's be clear.
People know who Foxy Brown is.
They know who it is, but not with the interaction. This is not a good main event. What's a good main event? Kim and Nicki, because both them fan bases are going to, everybody going to pick a side. When Joe Budden had the conversation, it was a debate. and it was a great debate. I don't think that same conversation is going to be with Foxy. Let's be clear. Now, but with Nicki and with Lil Kim, because you need somebody that is still current in the business. That's why it makes sense.
But that's why it would be like she's using Nicki to rebrand herself.
No, I don't think so, because Nicki needed to. Because Nicki is not that well in the business. She have took major hits. She married a man that's a
right. But here's the thing, Wiley, you want to bring
her brother is arrested for her brother was arrested. So her brand, let's be clear here, her brand did take a hit, and many people coming to her and saying this: you are an old woman, you in your 40s.
Look, I'm older than Nicki.
I understand, but this is what I'm saying about what they're saying about Nicki.
But you cannot do ageism because
Nicki is no longer the young girl anymore. She's almost in her 40s. So people are saying you're the 40-year-old bully. You understand you acting like you accuse Kim of acting. You think she don't see those comments? Those are the comments about Nicki. One Ken like Barbie said it verbatim that you're working with 20-year-old artists to stay relevant. So they're saying that about her, and she hear that. So this will be a good rebrand for Nicki. I'm telling you, and to be clear, if they really want to shake it up, they should do a record together, because this reminded me with.
And I will 100% agree with you if that's what comes first. They should. That's where it comes first. When I forget her name, the lady in your chat said it would be disingenuous because it's almost as if Kim would be using Nicki to rebrand herself. I agree with the point where you said they should do a record first. That would be more genuine if they had a conversation with one another and then released a record together. It would come across disingenuous to hop up on a versus stage just so Kim can increase her album sales and possibly go on a bigger tour than these venues that she's performing now.
I think honestly it should be. Honestly it should. Because let's be clear, without Lil Kim, the success of Kim, the formula that she developed, I don't know if we would have Nicki and what we have Nicki today. Nicki looked at the formula of Kim, and she and her manager at the time said he studied Kim's swag. And
she did the foundation on the backs of other female rappers.
But it makes sense. The only industry hip hop is that we don't like to honor our legends. Country music don't have that problem.
That's not true.
They revere their legends. You could be 90-some years old still doing country music. But you
just say Nicki forbidden her 40s.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm telling you what the people is saying about.
I know, but you just did ageism.
But it reminded me when Nicki was saying things about Kim. It was some conversation, all this and stuff like this. Now, we got 10, 12 years later. Okay, now Nicki is no longer the only woman in the industry. And people are saying you're acting like a bully. You're not helping the younger talent. And the things you accuse Kim of doing, you have done that 1,000%.
Can I ask you something?
These are the comments that are been saying about Nicki Minaj.
Right. Can I ask you something? Then I'm gonna let somebody else jump on. When you say she's not helping the younger girls, who helped Nicki? Who is the female rapper that helped Nicki?
You said who's the female rapper?
Yeah, who's the female rapper that helped Nicki?
Nicki Minaj had major cosigns.
Oh, no. You said Nicki does not want to help
male rappers.
No, listen, you said she don't want to help the younger women.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Who is the women that help Nicki?
She have helped. When I'm telling you, she have helped.
Don, what you say?
She have helped other female rappers. That's the case.
I'm reading the comments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of the points that they make is that if you do not cater to Nicki, because Nicki said it on her radio show, you got to pass the vibe check.
That's not true.
That's what she said.
Everybody passed the vibe check.
I understand that. Her definition of a vibe check, that if I work with you, you can't work with my ops.
That's not true.
When you work with Tekashi 6ix9ine when he snitched, she said it's a good business. This is a business. But soon when people want to work with Cardi, you're my ops. I gotta unfollow.
Wiley, you moving.
That's how Nicki operate. That's her.
Right, Riley, I love you, but you is moving the goalpost.
That is the truth with Nicki Minaj. That is what women. The same thing with Lotto when she stood up for herself. It was a problem. It was an issue. She stood over herself and she said, "You're acting like a 40-year-old."
Okay, but Wiley, guess what? You're moving the goalposts.
She said it, and that's the thing with Nicki. She only want to work with people that kiss her butt. If you work with Cardi, it is an issue, and
That's not
clear.
true.
And if we really want to be that way, why don't it be Nicki in a Cardi versus battle? Let's be clear.
Cardi got one album. What is she possibly gonna get up there and do?
She got a catalog. She got a lot of features.
No, she don't. Cardi got
she got multiple number ones.
No, Cardi does not have enough songs to do a verses.
You only need
That's
20.
Like saying Remy needs to get up there and do. Remy can't do a verses.
She got 20 records. That Cardi have
Wiley,
20
no, a verses is hits. You can't.
It's not. She have a catalog. She have a catalog. They said the same.
I'm gonna let somebody else get up here because you moving the goalposts, Wiley.
They said the same thing with Trina, that she don't have enough hits to go against Eve.
Nobody said that. Everybody knows. The only person who said that is that lady in front of them.
No, they have said that about Trina. Oh my gosh, she's gonna get wiped out by Eve.
No,
when the versus battle happened,
Trina got hit.
Trina came through. Like, it all depends on, like someone said on Joe Budden, it depends on the song choice. It depends on your delivery of that song, because it shifted. Remember back in the day, the verses just played the records. Now are performing the records now.
Right.
And so it's like a totally different vibe. Just like when Mario who did he face? Mario.
Omarion.
And Mario did better than Omarion because they say he sounded trash. He sounded a mess. So it all depends on stage presence. Let's be clear. Kim got an amazing stage presence. And we're going to see, because having this conversation, they love this. This is how verses thrive on beat. It ain't going to thrive. It's just kumbaya. That's why they wanted Brandy and Monica though, because of the different beefs. It keeps the conversation going. And with if Nicki and Lil Kim do this will be big business for verses, because ain't nobody been checking for verses in a while. This will bring money for them, and this will help both artists will walk away as winners. And the fans will walk away as winners, because we would probably get more music from Nicki if she's smart, and we would get more music for Kim if she's smart. Because
and Kim then they might do a collabo.
And they might do a collab.
But I just feel like the collabo should come before this.
I agree with that though.
The collab should come before.
It'll be more genuine if it happened the way Deja's saying.
Yes, it will be more genuine, Don. It just does not seem genuine if the only person benefiting from a versus is Lil Kim.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Go ahead.
Can I play devil's advocate in this? So what if both Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj are playing us based on the conversation we're having now, because it's getting us up in the tizzy, so to speak. Well, it's not getting anybody in the tizzy, but it gets us going on like the debate, so to speak, or the question. So what if all of this is intentional, knowing but
they finna drop something?
They finna drop something, but I'll go even deeper than that. So in this versus battle, Lil Kim, she gonna come out like a battle rapper, right? So I'm saying there's no win for Nicki Minaj in this. There's no win situation for Nick, in my opinion, for Nicki Minaj in this. I just say that because, for one, if she go out there and Lil Kim turn this shit into some Locks versus Dipset shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and see, right there, it's like the tension to be high already.
There you go.
Or
and so
actually, get a number one and a Grammy. That could possibly be, because let's be clear, Brandy and Monica was it, but they share a Grammy. So this probably could be her moment to be respected in the Grammy, because they don't like her now, but they probably would tolerate her if she do a good record with Kim. I think it would be good for the culture. And Nicki needs this. Nicki just closed on her home a couple of years ago, so did all that. She need to change the narrative. She married a man that's on the SA list.
Wiley, you keep moving.
So I think that Nicki, because if Nicki didn't need this, she would have said no a long time ago.
Why did she say yes?
Because I don't think that when he went to the Breakfast Club, I don't think he was just share that just to just share it out his asshole. I think a conversation, negotiations is happening, and I think that I think Nicki have reached out to. I personally think they talking behind the scenes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would just bring this up. Oh yeah, Nicki is going to happen. We in talks. Like, you know, they know stuff before us. They plan this stuff and then they just put it out there.
Right.
Honestly, they have Switch Beats have already had a conversation with Nicki and Kim, and a deal is about to be signed. They just doing this just to get everybody hyped, like wrestling, like a storyline. I feel like this is giving me a storyline. And then, oh yeah, but it ain't signed, so it's probably already signed. And then they're gonna make a date, and then poof, it's gonna happen. I believe it's.
I hope it do happen, and if it do happen, I hope both ladies have agreed behind the scenes, to disrespect each other in vulgar ways and shit like that. You know what I mean? And then have fun with it like that. I want them to
disrespect each other.
No, Wiley, we don't want them to disrespect each other.
I want them to call each other. Bring that drama. And them white folks, them producers, they want that. Because the more drama it is, the more gunshots, the more it helps their bottom line. Let's be clear. Most companies built their platform off of Biggie and Tupac. The media thrives. So they want that. They want the drama. They want that. Because that helps their bottom line. They love that.
So you want them? You want them to?
So you don't want them to squash the beat,
and then I just come out and stop the crowd.
Yeah. That's entertainment. It helps my bottom line. My views go up. Everybody eats off of this.
Oh Lord,
it helps my bottom line.
Wiley don't want no peace. He wants
no peace. Peace is boring, but drama. I don't care what y'all say. Controversy sells. Especially when it's with black women, and especially in hip hop.
Oh God,
hip hop thrives.
Wiley, no, they've been fighting for 15 years. I don't want
it. It's just, but you never seen them in the same room go back and forth like that.
Yeah, but I don't want that. So good. I know I just said something about ageism, but here's the thing: they are both in better spaces. They have children now. Yeah, and it's just like no. I don't want it to be tense because we have to. Don't forget, these women made diss tracks against each other.
They did. And she better perform Black Friday.
And then my thing is, what's going to happen when Lil Kim decide, hey, I'm finna pay Black Friday, and then what's going to happen when Nicki busts out with Hang It Up flat screen? When she
I love it because the fans.
It's gonna be tense.
It's going. I love it. It's gonna be good tea. I'm here for it. I can't. The fallout is gonna be great numbers, and I think the fans we need that because let's be clear. I love when hip hop artists beef. When it's peace, it's boring. But when you beef it, I love it. It's good for as long as it just stay on the records and if it ain't
like good New York beef, like Dipset and Locks. But
yeah, I like it. As long as it's music wise, I'm cool with it.
See, but, I hate to say this, but with women, we sometimes don't know how to leave it at the music. We can't have the Dipset and the Locks beef where they just trash talk and was still cool. We can't say certain stuff because somebody might get in their feelings, and next thing you know, something flying across the stage. You know, we take that personal. We can't do that.
Yeah,
so that's just my whole thing. I'm like, what's gonna happen if Nicki decide to bring some guests? Then Kim gonna bring out Remy. They gonna perform "Don't Wake Me Up." It's gonna get active in there.
I'm down for it. I'm down for it, though.
Oh Lord,
I'm gonna be fighting as long as they keep the cameras rolling, I'm here for it.
Wiley, so you can report live. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go right. Everybody else, the breakfast, everybody gonna be live, and so we shall see.
Well, if they do it, I'm here for it. I just hope they have a nice woman-to-woman conversation and it end in peace and a nice record for us.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna let y'all go. Thanks for letting me talk, y'all.
Oh man, thank you so very much, man. This was good.
Peace out, Deja.
Good show. Thank you, Deja. Thank you. Well done. Thank you, brother, for coming on. Wow, this is a good show. Good show. Any closing remarks?
Crazy comments. It was
the crazy
comments down there.
I loved it. People love drama. If I'm here peaceful, ain't no comments. The more comments, the more you're gonna get me drama. I watch wrestling. Let's be clear. Like I'm a wrestling fan.
I do too.
I love people going back the baby face versus no, that would never happen. And then poof, you thought that person gonna win. Like when Roman Reigns was going against The other guy, we thought Roman was gonna lose the belt. He didn't lose. Like I was pissed. Or when Undertaker lost his streak, I was pissed to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like it was unpredictable. Like so that's why as a wrestling fan, as a person that sit as entertainment, I think it would be good for the culture. We shall see. And people would ask me, how can they get
the next time Monday Night Raw, one of them come here, we gotta go together and we have to video vlog it. And I'm gonna bring out my wrestling belts and everything, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm bringing out my shirts. Because I went to WrestleMania, I went to Raw, and we definitely got to go to an event. Absolutely, I'm down with that. I'm
showing up. I'm telling you, bro. Say, Wiley, like this is the professional me, right? This is the real, bro.
Because I'm lit as a wrestling fan.
Bro, I'm fucking around. I fucking around to be out there with my shirt off.
Yeah, I'm a lit as a wrestling fan.
I'm talking about, nigga, we gonna be out there crazy, bro. Like, we gonna have fun. We're gonna have to have fun, bro.
Yeah, I'm lit.
Man.
Yeah, because I be drinking and everything. Yeah, because like white guys, I love
wrestling. See, there you go. They're laughing at, this is a country accent.
Yeah,
Dallas,
I love
man.
it.
I'm from Dallas, man.
I love it as well, man. Don, thank you, brother, for coming on.
No doubt.
They gonna eat me up in them comments, the Nicki fans, but who cares? We can take it. All right. How can people get in contact? I just want to say,
go ahead. Wiley, can you share my I'm almost finished with my YouTube channel, y'all. I'm almost finished with it. And I got probably 1 day, 2 days. It's gonna be a YouTube channel that no one has ever had a YouTube channel like the YouTube channel I'm gonna get. Well, that I'm creating. So I'll drop it in 2 days. I'll send you a preview, Wiley. And it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be, like I said, man, it's gonna be, man, why does this dude keep calling me a barb? What is a barb? I ain't with the lingo. What's a barb?
A barb is a Nicki Minaj fan. A Nicki Minaj fan.
Oh. No, I'm not a barb. I'm not a I'll put it like this. The reason why I'm not a barb, and I think Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper ever. Don't get it twisted. But the reason why I'm not a barb is because I didn't see her do it with other females. Like when she had the spotlight on her, I feel like she was on some, like, there can only be one. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And so that's the only knock I would have on Nicki Minaj. But besides that, honestly, if we just talking about delivery, talent, everything, like, Nicki Minaj is the Drake of women rappers. Honestly, like, if she came out with an R&B only CD, I bet you that shit snapping. I'm just being real. I bet you that shit snapping. Same thing, she come out with a rap CD, she gonna have bars. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like the at the end of the day, man, you had a chance to put a lot of other females on the same pedestal, or shine the light on a lot of other artists that were coming up at the time, and you chose to be selfish with the light. You know what I mean? And that's the only knock I had on Nicki, but that to each its own. You know what I mean? I don't. At the end of the day, people make the decisions they have to make for themselves. At the end of the day, she felt like during that time, she had to be the only one. You know what I mean? And if you going for the best, and ain't no competition, I'm the best or I'm nothing. And that's how she had it. So you gotta respect that. Lil Kim didn't come in with that shit. She didn't come in with that mentality. I'm a hip hop fanatic. I own a radio station. She didn't come in with that. I remember Lil Kim. I remember because, like I said, I'm a hip hop fanatic. I remember Cameron, people don't know, Cameron wrote her first song, Got a Crush on You. You know what I'm saying? And so that's before Cam even came out with his CD. He was writing for her behind the scenes. And so her whole CD, damn near, Cam wrote that shit. You just look it up. Her whole first CD, that was big in Cam. So like she Lil Kim didn't come in the game on some, I'm the best, and she came in on the coattails of Biggie, Junior Mafia, and all them, and she was just a female in the group, but she was holding her own. Like, you gonna be with Biggie, of course she gonna be nice, and you can't knock Lil Kim shit. When Lil Kim had it, she had it. She was on it, and it wasn't no debate who was the best female lyricist when Lil Kim was out. It was her, because wasn't nobody challenging. Wasn't no female rapper actually trying to compete with the dudes, with the rappers with bars. So Lil Kim was. Lil Kim was like, if you get, but yeah, I know the Brad too. But the Brad was for me, the Brad was what's the word I want to use? I don't want to put that group. I treat it like Nicki.
It was
excuse me, Chris. Like, so the Brad did so much.
It was breaking up the last part.
How much the Brad did?
Yeah, it was breaking up some. All right.
Yeah,
done.
Lesbian comments and none of that shit. She stayed the Brad.
It was breaking up some, Don. Yeah.
On forward off it.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in to another episode of the Wiley Show. Actually, another special edition of Two Man and a Lady. Thank y'all so very much. It's gonna be better next week. On next Thursday. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in. And we will see y'all again. Thank y'all. Shout out to the producers. Absolutely. Shout out to y'all for coming through. Also, shout out to people that have sent us cash apps to sponsor tonight's live, to open it up to the general public. Thank you so very much. So Wiley Show. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Wiley Show. Also, go visit our site, www.wileythetroll.com. Also, make sure you like this video and leave a comment. We've been on here for 2 hours. Thank y'all so very much for the amazing show. And we'll be back next week. And it's going to be great. We have the lady in mind. I don't need none of your suggestions because half y'all naming people we don't mess with and they don't mess with us. So we will let y'all know next week who the lady will be. Okay. Thank you. So we can keep it under wraps. You will see on next Thursday, we'll be back with another live. Thank you. God bless you to all the people that came through. Also, thank you to my team for their amazing work today and bringing the list of topics today. Thank you to Don for coming through as well. Also, if you need any information, if you're looking to get in housing, if you need to get into loans or anything like that, Don can help you with all of that because he does real estate. And also, you can just email me at wileyshow@gmail.com if you're trying to get to own your property and stuff like that, your first property, or you try to get a loan, to get a hard money loan and all of that. And I'll let you know how to do it because we will forward your information to Brother Don. Thank y'all so very much. God bless you all. Also, we will be back live tomorrow. We will resume it. Thank you. And we got a lot of subjects to get into tomorrow. It's going to be a mess tomorrow in the show. But thank y'all so very much for tuning in for Two Man and a Lady. Also, thank you so very much. We will announce the lady on next week when we do the live, and it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be so fun. Thank you all so very much. Thank you to the moderators for coming through today. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you to Ebony. Thank you to D-Vlogs. We also will be adding a new writer to wileythetroll.com. So I'm looking forward to that, adding somebody to the team. So I'm excited. Thank you. This was fun. Shout out to my camera team. Thank you today. Thank you. God bless you. You know who you are. Also, they wanted me to make this announcement. Make sure y'all go and check them out. They had recorded a video for give me a second, for the Young Nation. They recorded it coming back. Y'all, it's a rap group, the Young Nation. They recorded their video, the Young Nation. So make sure y'all go check that out. Thank y'all so very much. If y'all want me to talk about something tomorrow, because we will be doing an early morning show tomorrow, email me at wileyshow@gmail.com. Thank y'all so very much for that. Also, update on Jaguar Wright. We will get more details about that on tomorrow, and that will be tomorrow. So be on the lookout. We will be doing a morning show on tomorrow, so make sure y'all be in the building. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Thank you all to my critics. Thank you as well. We love you. We will see y'all in the next episode. I got to go. Okay? Come on a bit late. No, I'm not doing it. I'm doing an early show tomorrow. So y'all better be on the lookout for that. And I will post the thumbnail and the conversation, and that will be for members only, unless we get a sponsor to open it up to the general public. All right. Thank y'all so very much. If you want to become a member, get your memberships. Get your memberships. It's $4.99. We're doing a members only live next week. We did 2 previous ones, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be on Zoom. So get your memberships. Like it's $4.99. If you want to be a part of the chat, get your membership. The only reason why we allow it to the general public because we had a donor that opened it up to the general public. So tomorrow, unless we get a donor to open it up to the general public, it will be for members only. Thank you. God bless you, and make sure y'all check that out. All right. Thank you so very much. Oh, would I be live on stage yet? I got to go because I got to go off for some drinks. I don't know if it'll work. Oh no. I don't know if it's going. I don't know if it's going. Well, technically, I'm not going out for drinks. They're going to be drinking. I'm going to be eating. So, yes, Love Maria said, I like the members only. Hi. All right. Thank y'all so very much. It's going to be fun. This is great. Leave a comment. I need y'all comments. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to drag in them comments. Leave a comment. All right. Because I love reading the comments. Thank y'all so very much. And I will see y'all in the next episode. This was great. Great show. And I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. Peace.